Witness a happy generational succession at the quarterback position in the NFL. I mean, Tua is now the Dolphins' fifth different starting playoff quarterback since Marino, and the Cowboys sure hope Dak will finally start his own Aikman-like run on Sunday against, well, the one team that has been the Waystar Royco of NFL successions. Indeed, Green Bay Logan Roy Brett Favre's epically messy retirement has long held the beer of the Packers' surprise succession plan for Green Bay Tom Wambsgans' Aaron Rodgers. But all kidding aside, it all did bridge one Hall of Fame career to another, to a highly successful first run for Jordan Love, who has turned to all doubters this year and told them, you are not serious. Offensive touchdowns and 0 giveaways for Jordan Love. That led the National Football League this year. Leads the NFL in passing yards and offensive touchdowns since Week 11. That's Jordan Love. 18 passing touchdowns, 1 interception in the last 8 games. That's Jordan Love. The starting quarterback for the Packers in Dallas on Sunday, that's Jordan Love, Steve Mariucci.
That's a pretty impressive resume, isn't it? That's the youngest team in the league, guys.
Yeah, that is.
You nervous, Irv? You know what? Are these Packers young stars ready to shine today against the Bulls?
And I believe they are, you know, because this is a young team that's growing together. And I think they've done an incredible job of putting this mix together. Now with Jordan Love and all of those young receivers, man.
Watch Jordan Love play all year. I've said it, you know, it had some bumps in the road, but for the most part, he's played really good, solid football from a decision-making standpoint. And it's all kind of come together. You mentioned it, this young group, youngest offense in the National Football League, come together at the right time. And we remember a year ago, like all the issues Aaron Rodgers was having with these young receivers and what they couldn't do and get on the same page. I'll tell you what, these young receivers are playing really, really well. And you kind of introduce people. Dontavian Wicks right here. And I love this. The patience to allow it to clear out to the inside. Boom. And it gives Jordan Love just an extra tick to put the ball into there.
Right up the field.
One of those touchdowns that you're talking about. A little bit of run after catch. Jaden Reed right here, the one-on-one. Beats his guy, but not just beats his guy for the completion, and now making it easier on his young quarterback, splitting guys, carrying another guy to the end zone, and then Romeo Doubs, maybe the most veteran of them. Look at this, how he sets it up to kind of use that combo coverage out there, mess up the Minnesota Vikings, set him up another one that makes it easy for his quarterback. So Jordan Love playing really, really well, but these young receivers coming into their own and doing a bunch of little things, they're helping their quarterback as well.
You saw that perfect throw, though. That last throw was a perfect throw. Now, yeah, you got he can make those.
And it's not just the receivers, because they have young tight ends. They drafted 2 tight ends, Luke Musgrave from Oregon State in the 2nd round, and then Tucker Kraft from South Dakota State Jackrabbits in the 3rd round. They got rookies and freshmen and sophomore all over the place. It's going to be fun to watch this young group grow up with Jordan Love, because I think they're a year ahead of time. I don't know if anybody expected them to be in the playoffs.
If we quizzed all the fans out there that aren't Packers fans, would they know these 3 wide receivers? Would they know those 2 tight ends?
They will, though.
But you're right. They're going to know them, because this team's going to be good for a long time. You got to deal with Love.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send it over now to Kimmy Checks in Ask the Experts.
Thanks so much, Mooch. It's time for Ask the Experts, presented by Lowe's. We know football. Lowe's, Cynthia, they know home improvement, and you know
tomorrow has been officially postponed. The league is now set to announce that this game, which was going to be played tomorrow, is now going to be played Monday at 4:30. As Hoko said, due to extremely dangerous weather in Western New York, in consultation with emergency response teams and in consultation with the NFL and the Buffalo Bills, this game has been moved a day. She also said they're implementing a full travel ban in Erie County starting at 9 p.m. tonight. Obviously could dramatically affect those who expect to be in attendance. And yes, I'm sure the questions will come up, Rich. What if the Bills had a dome? This is not about the field. This is about travel, and this is about safety, and that is why this game is postponed.
All right, thank you. It was cold. They came very close, but it's not, you know, horseshoes and hand grenades here. You know what I mean? Like, they've got to get the win. And also, are you concerned about his ankle as well in the cold weather?
Yeah, let me tell you what I'm concerned about, because this guy is not just the catalyst on that offense, and everything's built around him. But he's the attitude for Miami. He's talking about coming out without sleeves, so he's sending a message to his teammates. We can't think about this cold. So yeah, when he's not playing football and getting 100 yards and feeling like he's all himself, then he doesn't project that to his teammates to lift them up. That's what I'm concerned about. You got to get him back to doing what he does so he can do it with that swag that brings Miami some extra stuff in a game.
And it's, again, expected to be -1 by kickoff. That would be tied for the 4th coldest game in the history of the National Football League.
He's used to it. It's just the rest of them. They're going to have a problem.
It all starts in Houston, though, indoors. Browns and Texans. First up, we're taking you to kickoff for this one. Omar Ruiz, take it away.
Hey, Rich, what a unique circumstance for DeMeco Ryans. Once upon a time, he got set to face Joe Flacco in the playoffs as a player. Now he gets set to face Joe Flacco in the postseason once again, now as head coach. I asked Ryan about that dynamic, and he said Joe Flacco's one of the best quarterbacks he's ever seen as a player, and the way that Joe Flacco has been playing down the stretch, he looks like that same version of quarterback. He said his decision-making and arm strength are still elite. They can't let those explosive plays that Flacco has become so famous for over the years, and how they beat the Texans here week 16, beat them today. He said they must force Flacco to check the ball down and force the Browns offense to drive slowly down the field. Rich?
Omar, thanks very much. So, Flacco, the Flacco-sance has been something else. Coming off the couch like a house of fire is the Browns in the playoffs. C.J. Stroud, though, from start to finish, one of the best rookie quarterback seasons we have ever seen. And that is no understatement. Gents, take it away.
So I ask you, thanks, Rich. I ask you, Kurt Warner, what a story this is. What's been more impressive? Joe Flacco's renaissance or this guy, C.J. Stroud's fantastic rookie season?
I mean, no doubt. Joe Flacco coming off the couch. I mean, he's been the first quarterback since 2020 to have 4 straight games, 300 yards, and 2 or more touchdown passes. It's been pretty incredible, but I'm going with this guy over here and the rookie because we've only had 3 quarterbacks in the history of the NFL, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and now C.J. Stroud, that have led the league in touchdown to interception ratio while also leading the league in pass yards per game. This guy, unbelievable. We're talking about a 3-13-1 team a year ago, now in the playoffs, and it's all because of the confidence that was brought by this quarterback playing great football in the MVP race for a while. I'm going with the young kid, Coach.
Yeah, if he didn't miss those games, maybe he would have been in the MVP race for sure, right? What a season he's having. But I still can't believe this 38-year-old guy right here, you mentioned it, off the couch, and he had to learn a new system right in the middle of the season, and he's averaging 323 yards a game, passing in 5 games. This is spectacular. And, it looks like he's been there for years. He knows he handles the system well, all the play-action pass, and they're doing it without the great back Nick Chubb. What a game this is going to be. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to touch off right now because we have some breaking news, some real important news. I'm going to send it straight over to Ian Rappaport. What you got, Ian?
Mooch, we do have some breaking news as Governor Kathy Hochul just announced a couple minutes ago the Bills-Steelers game that was set.
Stafford going back to Detroit, and we've obviously got Jared Goff playing against his former team in the Rams. Matthew Stafford sent to L.A. to do something that Jared Goff couldn't do and won the Super Bowl, and now Matthew Stafford going back to Detroit to see Jared Goff do something that he was never able to do and win the division and have a home playoff game. And there's no doubt, you can say what you want. Both of these guys have had, great success in their new teams, but they want to prove something to the group on the other side. They want to go back and establish something in this game. And that, to me, you can't write this any better. First home playoff game for the Lions in 30 years. And who's going back to play him but Matthew Stafford? Beautiful storyline, double reunion. This one's going to be so much fun.
And this is what's so great about all of these games. They all have great storylines. And that storyline to return home is none bigger than that. Tyreek Hill, you talked about Matthew Stafford. Tyreek Hill in that storyline. He's returning back home to Kansas City. But the biggest return home happened December 30th when Jimmy Johnson returned back to AT&T Stadium and lifted that curse up off the Dallas Cowboys for over 30 years. That curse laid down. Do you know in that playoff run with Jimmy Johnson, they were 10-1. We were 10-1. We knew how to play playoff football. Right now, the Dallas Cowboys, since then, 0-7 at the divisional round. We must get to it. We must get through.